You know what? When I think about that song kind of say, okay, you in my room, but you acting all reluctant, and I don't want this to be old date situation. So look, if you ain't gonna give it to me, then I'm not gonna take it, okay? But if you ain't giving it up, you might as well.
Hollywood,
if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, and subscribe because it is so important to my success here on the YouTube. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the link below. And for a $5 monthly donation, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before YouTube gets it, if YouTube gets it. Now, let's talk about Jan Gaye's After the Dance, My Life with Marvin Gaye, Part 6. So, y'all, I know y'all disappointed because I don't have on an outfit today. I don't know why, but I felt like representing my hood. And I got a surprise for you. Just hold tight. So where we left off, Marvin Gaye was having a nervous breakdown because he had to perform. He agreed to the concert and then turned around and was like, I can't do it. Ultimately, Taco Meat Marvin got himself together. Why, you say? Because the tax man came a-knocking. Jan says that he has never been financially responsible. He always spent what he want, how he wanted, regardless. Well, she did say he didn't have any financial advisors or accountants, so he just did what he wanted to do with the money. And then when he saw or felt like there was no money, he got back out there and he started making records. And this time, that is exactly what happened. He went out on tour. He was like, oh no, I got to get this money together. Just to add on to it, remember that little cabin they got up in the woods down there to Topanga because of his lack of responsibility with Mr. Taxman? Oh, they took that. They took all of that. But it's a little, it's going to be some little, shenanigans before the taxman come in, so just hold tight. But, they got that. They was like, okay. You don't want to pay your taxes? Okay, I got you, bruh. You got a whole cabin right there in the Topanga, and we going to go get it. The concert that was scheduled initially for November 1973 has been rescheduled to January 1974. So that's 2 more months of him going back and forth with whatever it is he got inside of him, telling him, okay, I'm a great singer. Okay, I'm not good enough. Whatever demon he got going back and forth with him, I don't know if it's the boogity sugary demon, but that nigga got some issues. But this ninja is missing all the rehearsals. Well, not all. I think she said altogether he made it to about 3 rehearsals, okay? He didn't even make it to the venue for the sound check for that day. Motown walking back and forth, sweating like a fat rat in the cheese factory, wondering where the hell is this nigga. Motown didn't even know that they were in the building until Frankie Gaye walked on stage. Now, the trick-a-boo-boo is this. The crowd thought that Frankie Gaye was Marvin Gaye. Trick on you. In reality, Frankie just introduced him. And then out come Marvin Gaye and loud screaming, even more. I'm like, well, they add on a little bit more about Jan. Okay. So, Marvin Gaye made a song named Jan. I didn't know that. Okay, I don't know. My favorite song by Marvin Gaye is I Want You to Want Me the Right Way, Baby. And I want you to want me to, want me to, want you to want me to, just as I want you. You know what? When I think about that song kind of say, okay, you in my room, but you acting all reluctant, and I don't want this to be old date situation. So look, if you ain't gonna give it to me, then I'm not gonna take it, okay? But if you ain't giving it up, you might as well leave. That's what I'm feeling about the song, and I respect that song. I hopefully, that's what all niggas should say. The song Jan, he sang it, The problem was Jan was in her feelings because when he introduced the song, he said, a young lady asked me to write it for her. Oh, Jan was in her feelings. She was like, why you would tell them people that I asked you to write me that song? You wrote that song out of your own free will. Marvin Pooh was like, oh, Jan, you know I got fans out there, baby. Can't let them know what the hell I got going on out here with me and you. I got to keep these ladies satisfied. I dig it, you know. Because as soon as they find out you married, then you lose about goddamn half your damn, you know. Like New Edition, they had whole families. We didn't know that them motherfuckers was married until they was old as shit. Gray balls. When their balls is touching the toilet water. Nobody knew that them niggas was married. You know why? Because it's business. He had decided that what he wanted to do was have himself some fun, you know. So we talked about the event in January, but before we got there, here we go. So what one of Marvin Pooh and Jan's, you know, activities / hobbies was to roll around down to the, you know, red light district. Do they call it that? Is it the red light district, the red light special, whatever it is, okay? They would roll around and see the hoes, the homeless people, and the junkies, okay? And what Jan said was from time to time, you know, he would be out there picking something, looking at something. Look at that one, baby. Look at that one. Look at that one with that big old booty. And remember, did I tell y'all this earlier on? But listen, Jan was all boobs. She ain't had no ass. So I'm sure she felt a sense of insecurity because she could not give him that. Girl, if they had Brazilian butt lifts, then child, girl. But anyway, what happened was they would roll around, you know, riding around looking for the hoe that Marvin lusted after that night, okay? Most of them or all of them had big old, you know, booties, because that's what he liked, okay? It's just the Jan, because you ain't got no ass, but you got big titties, I guess. I don't know. You know, I never understand it. If a person like ass, but you marry somebody that don't have an ass, I don't know. The personality must be the greatest. I don't know. One time, okay, because this was some old, you know, male ego type thing that he was doing with Jan. One time he seen a girl. Okay, ooh, yeah, that one. Baby, go out there and go get that one for me, okay? Child, what happened was when the girl got in the back, because, you know, we riding around in an old RV, okay? That's what, you know, Marvin Gaye wants to do. He need enough room back there to do whatever it is he going to do with whatever bitch he going to do it with. When she hopped in the back, and Marvin Gaye turned the light on, and he looked back at her, and she didn't bust out like, that's Marvin Gaye. Child, if she didn't know who he was, he would be like, Jan, just throw the whole bitch away. So now they down there in the red light district playing with hoes, okay? And sometimes what Marvin would request from Jan is for Jan to watch two women service him, okay? Now, you know, eventually this sick bastard wanted to see two men service her. So, child, she obliged. Before her 18th birthday. Finally, Marvin gets himself a manager. His name is Stephen Hill, who was strong enough to tell Taco Meat Marvin, nigga, you gonna do it. And also strong enough to tell Barry D. Gordy, kiss my ass, he ain't gonna do it. What Jan said was that Marvin Pooh did walk around like he was Macho Man Randy Savage, but that nigga wasn't shit. Well, she ain't say shit. She would never say that. But, you know, he wasn't that ninja that he pretended to be. And in actuality, he needed a strong personality like Stephen to actually be the enforcer for him. And, you know, the promoters, the venues, Barry D. Gordy's, and a bitch, he ain't fucking you no more, back off. Stephen, you know, told him to leave that cabin down there to the Topanga. Now, this is before the tax man got it, okay? Marvin said, answer no. I'm sure that if Stephen would have been more aggressive about the situation, I'm sure that he would have gave it up. But he ain't had to be more aggressive. Because what happened was just somebody broke into the house, Okay, there's some old crazy shit. But somebody broke into the house. Now remember, I told you you had to have an old Jeep to drive up in that motherfucker in the first place, right? But somebody broke into the house and stole that AK-47. You know, they did a little damage here and there. Ever since that situation happened, and it was unexplained, Marvin had no idea who did it, why somebody would do it, or at least that's what the nigga said, because you know that's all child. He probably didn't want to tell Jan that what he did was fuck the wrong bitch and took the wrong bitch to the cabin. And now her and her brothers had went up there and robbed the damn place. And eventually they moved into a luxury apartment in Brentwood. They still riding around the world in this RV, child. That's what he wanted to do. Hit the road and fuck new bitches. Okay? And have it Jan to watch. Okay? One day, he decided I wanted to have my mother on the road with us. Well, my family on the road with us. You know Jan can't have that. You know she want that nigga to herself. She cannot share Marvin Pooh with nobody. Okay? Now, she's starting to act like an old spoiled brat. She protested openly about his family joining them on the road. Now, how Marvin Pooh describes it is this. I was with that bitch, Anna D. Gordy, a long ass time. She tried to replace my mammy, and I allowed her to do it. This is not what he said, but basically that's what happened. He went away from one mammy and found another one. Okay, because that bitch was old enough to be his mammy. This is how the situation unfolded. Marvin Pooh knew that Jan was feeling a certain way about going on the road with his family. Okay, so what he did was bought her a little kitten. She loved the kitten. Marvin Pooh's mother said that she wasn't getting in the van with that thing in there. So now you're choosing, the mother has forced them to be in a situation where they have to compete against each other. Ultimately, you know Marvin Pooh chose his mother, so the kitten couldn't go. Okay. All Jan had to do was just keep the kitten over there. You know what I'm saying? The mother would have been just fine. Now, if she had an allergy, that's one thing. But just to exert her power, because that's what women do. They exert their power. Like, you know, even if it's his sister or his aunt. That's what women do. They try to make it a competition thing. And that shit goes nowhere to me. It's immature, it's stupid, and it's dumb. And you catch more, flies with honey than vinegar. Dumb. Now, Stephen, Marvin Pooh's manager, had threw Marvin Pooh in a trick bag. You know, it's always difficult for this ninja to go on the road for some daggone reason. He be having this terrible anxiety like he don't know how good he is. That nigga know how good he is. He knew how good he was when he turned that light on in that RV and he wanted that fucking girl to scream and holler when she seen that she was about to, you know, service Marvin Gaye. But when he go on tour, all of a sudden he turned crazy. But remember, his brother Frankie said that his brother loves all the drama that is related to going on tour. He just want the attention. I can't stand no fucking man that need a lot of attention. Like I said, Stephen threw Marvin in the trick bag, right? Marvin, you know, invited his entire family again up. What's her name? What's the lady name? Jan. She's still protesting. I want you to myself, bitch, shut up. You pregnant now with that man baby. So was she pregnant? Yeah, so for her 18th birthday, she was pregnant. In March, they confirmed that the baby was going to be due in September. Okay. She was in her feelings because Marvin Pooh was like, no, you can't go on the entire tour with me. You pregnant. All she thinking about is all the bitches he gonna fuck. Girl, he fuck bitches in front of you. Why you worried about if he fuck bitches not in front of you? I don't get that part. Okay. Anyway, what the trick was that Stephen pulled, and I understand why you gotta throw certain people in a trick bag like this just so that you can like kind of bum rush him with the trickery. Because what happened was, Stephen told him, okay, Marvin Pooh, we're going to do one show. No, there are 3 more shows for you to do when he got there. So you can't run, brother. While you here, do these goddamn shows so we can make some money and pay off all this damn tax debt. Jan starts to talk a little bit about Marvin's relationship with his family. Okay, she need to know it so she could stop being such a bitch. But she only 18 years old, so, I mean, you can't expect but so much. What Marvin Pooh said was that his mother worked as a domestic to keep food on the table. Now, his father was basking in the glory of being a local king, because he would travel from church to church to sing upon request. So he was like a local, church celebrity, child. Some of them people, them church people be out of their mind, child. You be like, do they know you smoke crack? Churches. And the women loved Marvin Pooh's father, child. You know women love a man with a fault to that toe. And because Marvin Pooh was a talent himself, he would travel around with his father. Now, dig this. You know my father, I done told y'all that my daddy was a minister, child. And every time I would go down there to his church, I would have them ladies fawning all over me. Oh, look at little Nay. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, and I just be looking at them women like, girl, child, he gonna take all your money. But that's how it is, them ladies in church, whether the ministers be married or not, they always be imagining that one day they gonna be the first lady, and no. His father was adored in the local churches. Okay, now why he out there being adored, Lord Marvin Pooh, is like, all the ladies in his face, if you nice to the son, then maybe the father will give you some pickle. You know how them bitches be. But what was going on was that although he had this persona in public, he was a tyrant in the house. Now, what Marvin Pooh said was initially he adored his father also. But then when something happened, he grew to loathe his father. Jan says, baby, what happened? Marvin Pooh say, I can't say. Jan says, I really, really want to know, baby. Tell me. Okay, lovers, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, because it is so important to my success here on the YouTube. And remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves. Have a good one. Peace.